Hello everybody and welcome to Supreme Commander Forged Alliance. This is the map Fields of Thunder V2. Making sure we're not talking about any of the other versions that might have been played. And here, for our entertainment today, are the two players, Hixtory, everybody's favorite Colombian Supreme Commander player. Maybe by virtue of being the only one, but we love him nevertheless, is in the top left as the red Cybern, and his opponent in the bottom right as the blue Aeon. Straight from Brazil is BRS Destructor. So what we have here is a Brazil-Colombia battle. Hopefully this is a bit more sportsmanlike than the World Cup matchup of the same name. And we'll just see what these two players accomplish in the early game, both going for the Hydro. Hixtory no Pigeons, Destructor 1 Pigeon. Unclear if he's actually going for the Hydro. He must. He is going for the Hydro now. 1 Pigeon for him. So a little bit different between these two players. A Flare from Destructor early on. Just 3 Engineers from Hixtory followed by a Mantis. We'll take a look at his early queue. They have quite the force early on. We see 2 Mantis and a Scout, then just 3 Engineers instead of a more standard 4, followed by more Mantis groups. So he will have a heavy force on the field early on, and I will now crank this up to +2. Whoa, this is gonna just go flying by. Wow, it's so fast. We've got Destructor with his Air Factory coming up. That's going to be a second factory. Hixtory just going for 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th land. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th land. I went a little nuts there on the counting. It's just the Flare didn't do anything there from Destructor. Really, I don't know if this is the best place. Maybe up here would be better to deny the reclaim. But it is just a Flare in the early game. It's not the most critical unit in the world, and we've got Destructor using his Engineer. He's bypassing the Mexes as the reclaim is more important on this map. So much reclaim, in fact, that if you can deny that for any extended amount of time, you basically win the game. So obviously Hixtory is well aware of this. Being the strategic genius that he is, he will be escorting his Engineer with a Mantis. That is what makes him our favorite Colombian, and he's got a land factory coming up. This will assist him in his efforts to reclaim the middle, because in addition to the corners, there's also mass in the middle of this map. You can see the Engineers not coming out of the factory. Ooh, power stall. Not ideal from him. He probably wants to get these power gen... Oh, he's making mass storage. Well, I'm sure that was a misclick, but in any case, he does need to get power online. Maybe he shouldn't be building this point defense until he can get those P-gens up. And a Bomber coming in from Destructor. I don't think it actually dropped anything there. It was brutally shot down by an anti-air turret. Landed directly on top of a P-gen there. And Bombers all over the place for Destructor. Still no air response from Hixtory, so these Bombers will have free reign. And you can see Hixtory tried to deny the reclaim down here. Fuck. And now we're going to see transitions to Tech 2 from Hixtory. He will attempt to combat the Aeon forces coming at him from the bottom right, and Destructor really avoiding the middle. This could be a mistake from him. Really going heavy on power as well. Somehow using it all. Stalling like mad every time this Engineer is not reclaiming. So you can see the importance of this Engineer to his efforts. See, upgrading Mexes or what he is. So much power from him. He should probably stop that power. And he's completely vacated the middle. I mean, Hixtory can reclaim everything here. And I mean, Destructor is not denying the top right corner. So really kind of infinite reclaim for Hixtory at the moment. He can afford to do a big Tech 2 land push if he wants. But this power spam from Destructor just doesn't stop. He doesn't need to follow conventional rules of power because he is Brazilian, and that makes him awesome. So just gonna go ahead and spam as much power as he possibly can while reclaiming, so his economy should be fairly good right now, if not for the fact that he was wasting 200 power every time well, constantly, really. X3 now going for Tech 2. Let's see what he can do with that. Point defense is always an option. And Rhino's hoplites coming out from the factory. Those are extremely good against Auroras. Borderline OP. But of course, Auroras are such garbage these days that pretty much anything can be called OP against them. But hoplites to an especially high degree. And no assist coming down in this factory from Hickstry. Interesting, instead going for a second factory before assisting the first one at all. So it's almost as if he's trying to conserve mass, but he's got plenty here. And his radar will tell him that nothing is going to the top right, so he's got plenty of time, space, whatever he wants to reclaim. So it's no problem for him in terms of feeding mass to his buildings, his little engineers. And Destructor, instead of securing the middle, has secured his side of the map. An admirable way to go, I guess. Not terrible, but at the same time, he probably would want to get control of the middle. As right now, he has no avenue to attack Hickstry's base. Whereas Hickstry has a very clear avenue to attack his, but to his credit, Destructor has erected this wall in order to prevent some kind of push into his base, and he's going for a tactical missile launcher. So going for warfare from afar, it seems. This tactical missile launcher is in a good position. It can hit all but one max from Hickstry. And he is actually upgrading all three of those, so there will be some very nice targets online by the time this missile launcher is ready to fire. Of course, Hickstry with his Tech 2 ACU in the middle can easily construct a tactical missile defense. You can see this would be the range of one. So two of these could completely deny anything that's shot from that missile launcher. T2 PD is now online. They will now lay waste to these Auroras. Or at least they should be. That was a strange bit of bugging there. But if we go to this view, we should see domination from this Cerberus turret. Getting hit by a few T1 Arties, but no real problem for that. See the action starting to heat up now in the middle. Hoplites from afar, really starting to destroy the Auroras from Destructor. So Destructor has to find a counter, otherwise he is in a position to start getting pushed back quite heavily. More T2 land factories online for Hickstry. He's going for mobile missile launchers at the moment. So mobile missile launchers and hoplites. I do not actually see any Rhinos. This is completely ranged warfare from Hickstry. He doesn't want any melee units. I call them melee because they're Rhinos, so they stab you with their little horns. And TMD now going to work and shooting down one of those missiles from the missile launcher. But that is obviously going to be the target, and if those bombers had been going after the TMD, could have been really big trouble for Hickstry. Don't know if they would have taken it out, probably not, but he could have targeted it with something and then unleashed hell with his missile launcher. And this is really bad for Destructor now, losing the bottom left corner. This engineer somehow is still alive though, has not actually been picked up by Hickstry. So it's not the end of the world, as he will retain his reclaiming capabilities for the time being. And some decent defense going on here from Destructor. Obsidian's coming in, so he's got Tech 2 of his own. These will easily wipe out the hoplites. You saw a one-shot kill there. Destructor now alone versus a gigantic fire base, you could call it, in the middle here. Very well fortified. And I see T2 radar from Hickstry. I like this move. It's actually very nice. It will give him coverage of the entire map. So once that goes online, we'll see. He can see everything going on in Destructor's base, aside obviously from these mexes, but it's pretty easy to infer what's going on there. And now Hickstry is just fortifying his position a little bit more. Looks rather impregnable if you ask me. He's got so many T1 PDs, so many mobile missile launchers. It's going to be hard for Destructor to break in here. But he is going to march forward with just his ACU. Let's check his intel. So he's got very nice intel actually. Just the T1 radars covering everything. So he won't be surprised too easily unless of course there was stealth from Hickstry, of which there is not. And these maxes are being upgraded here within range of the TML. So very soon we could see some very nice targets come up for Destructor's missiles. And it looks like Destructor has weathered the storm here. looked difficult for him, but he has managed to survive, pushing back and reclaiming his mexes here, and Hickstry really starting to run away with his economy. Of course, these mexes are not exactly secure, so we'll see if he can hold on to those or if they'll be sniped. Does Destructor actually know about them? Yes, he actually does know that they went to Tech 2, so I expect to see missiles momentarily. T2 power also up for Hickstry. He's really starting to eco very hard. I think Hickstry is in a position to go for Tech 3 land if he so desired. He's got enough eco for that, but looks like for the time being he will just focus on capping his mexes and improving his economy even more. Is this TMD? Yes it is. So pretty soon it's going to be impossible to kill those mexes from afar. Bombers harassing from Destructor. The main issue here is his ACU alone against 15 mobile missile launchers, so he has to micro constantly. Shit. If he doesn't micro constantly, he is in big trouble because that's a lot of firepower being focused down on him. See just these huge volleys coming down in places where he was formerly standing. God damn it. And Hickstry now under attack. The Obsidian Force running in from Destructor. And actually the terrain now blocking these point defenses. Kind of annoying because now they're in a position where they're just wasted mass. And Destructor can use this spot now to place his forces, if you know what I mean. I mean, he doesn't really have anything to worry about as long as he keeps microing his ACU. What the hell just happened there? I keep doing this even though I don't intend to. And Destructor really ecoing very hard in his base, getting these mexes up to T2. Of course, Hickstry, you could argue, is doing the same thing. But if we observe now, we see the TML launcher going to work these mexes over here, as TMD will never be online in time, not in a million years, and that is down. In fact, Destructor may even have drawn level with Hickstry in terms of mass now. He has, it's just 41 to 42. But the middle, of course, still comprehensively in Hickstry's hands. And Tech 3 on the way for him should allow him to do quite a bit of good work. Just Tech 2 still from Destructor. His ACU still marching around in the middle, forcing the MMLs to retreat once again. Oh, that was blocked by the terrain. Why did that happen? Why? It's just not fair. That would have been such a beautiful overcharge. And stealth for Hickstry. So not able to be detected by Destructor. It's good, I guess. It's good that his opponent can't see him. I'm not really sure what the point is, but he will be able to push forward and start to construct point defenses in a more advanced position. See the range on this thing. Just about will get to Destructor's ACU. Of course, Destructor is a master of microing his ACU as he has displayed so far. And really well developed base here from Hickstry. Oh, and here's a nice attack with bombers from Destructor. The Interceptor's coming in to block them, but this was a decent idea at the very least. And they didn't really manage to kill anything, but still a warning from Destructor that he means business. Actually, some TMDs would have been a great target, because assuming this one went down, then he... no, there's another one there, but he might be able to force his way into a path to attack these mexes with a TML, but he did not do that. Hickstry still just working on fortifying his position here. I really think if he had just gone for a big Tech 2 push, he could have just won the game. Because you can see the lack of units from Destructor's side. He's really just turtling. This is actually a turtle in the truest sense. And this mex is unprotected, so might as well snipe that. Hickstry really leaving a lot of his base uncovered in terms of TMD. And again, doing it here with T2 mexes being built on the front lines. Here as well, this is crazy. Hickstry is a madman. This will help him race up in the economic ladder though, up to 73 mass. and going for TMD now, so not entirely a madman, but still to a certain degree. And Medusa is now coming in. This is just a Medusa spam now from Hixtory. But the Obsidians keeping their distance, as this is where the MMLs will become good, as even if they miss one unit, usually there's going to be a cluster of other units that they'll hit, so still good. And Tech 3 Nexus from Destructor, so he's decided that he doesn't even care about map control. He's just going to let Hixtory take the whole map, and he's going to get T3 Mexes, because, you know, why the fuck not? And now Trebuchets are the order of the day from Hixtory. I don't think he's actually got any in the front line yet. This is going to be his first one, and that will be absolutely devastating for Destructor. Destructor is really teeter-tottering on the edge here. He's kind of pinned back, and somehow this missile got through the defenses. I have no idea how that happened. This one should be picked up, though. Yep, there it goes. That one, though, somehow got through to the mechs. A bit annoying, but not game-breaking. Destructor still just wandering around the map. He's really starting to be restricted in his space. Hixtory has done a very nice job of continuing to hold on to the middle. And it's still just going to be Trebuchets from him. As, where's the first one? I don't even see it anymore. It's up there. Yep, still just has it in the back there. He needs to get it into a position where he can attack. You can see from Hixtory's perspective, he knows that he's got Destructor pinned back. I think he could start pushing in, at least as a warning to Destructor. He's not doing that, just electing to hold on to the middle. Just gonna wait him out, and this missile launcher had no chance. It was just sniped by a huge platoon of T2 mobile missile launchers, and we've got mobile artillery from Destructor as well. So it is going to be a Tech 3 artillery war. That's nice. Usually don't get to see these prolonged games on a small map like this, but we are going to see that here. T3 already coming in, and it lands right in between all these units. And the thing about the Aeon RD is that it is damage over time rather than focus on conventional means. Kind of like the T2 RD, but nobody ever builds that, so we don't really get to talk about that a lot. You can see the damage over time there. So it actually makes it really nice against structures, as it does have good accuracy. Just not so great against fast units. And just continuing, he's actually spamming Tech 2 engineers is Hixtory. So he does have quite a bit of build power. It's just that he's not really committed as to what he's going to build. And I think still just the one Tech 3 mechs from Destructor. It's still an interesting choice that he went for that. I mean, for the price of a Tech 3 mechs, he could have built something else and gotten map control, but he did not. Now these 3 trebuchets that have somehow been conjured out of nothing will wreak absolute havoc. I don't see how Destructor is going to defend against those. What is the range? The range is quite good, and they're not firing at anything. Why are they not firing? No, seriously, why are... Okay, now something is fired. Alright, that's decent, but for a few seconds there, they were loaded and weren't firing, which makes no sense to me. That was almost nasty. It could have landed in between those and killed them both off. Such a formidable force. So we've got Harbinger spam now coming in. The thing about Harbies is if they're microed well, they can be much greater than the sum of their parts, if you know what I mean. Because through micro, they can be absolutely devastating units. Even without micro, but with micro, they are sensational. Sensational units. And Destructor now standing still. Oh my god. Oh. 300 health. Veteran seat, 5,000 health. 5,000 health. Hixtory smells blood. He wants to kill him off. And we've got the Harbingers now coming in. Absolutely eating the Tech 1 spam alive there. Destructor still living on the edge. Down to 2,000 health. Why is he not dodging this shit? God damn it. And we've got 2,200 health, 1,800 health. He was down to 300 health, I might remind you, at one point there. And the Harbinger is really doing a fantastic job of pushing back. What is Hickstrey up to? He can use all this confusion that he's causing to attack in other locations. Look at the amount of build power he has on his Tech 3 factory. Must be all his economy right there. And he's got bricks somewhere in here. I can hear them shooting. There it is. And Destructor taking fire again, 1000 health. God give me strength. He's trying to snipe down the trebuchets, just trying to relieve the pressure on his ACU. And Hickstrey overcharges the 2 Harbingers there, so it was an ambush. And the ambush worked out well there for the Hickstrey perspective, and this is just so painful. We've got another T3 mechs on the way for Destructor, still rather keeping pace nicely. And he is 30 mass behind, but it's not catastrophic like it might have been. And Hickstrey going for a big brick spam, and his trebuchets in the back really dealing quite a bit of damage. Just look at the scorch marks. Jeez. Destructor now coming back for more. He's got 98 kills. He's only 2 kills away from a veterancy. May I add, the final and best veterancy. We have far surpassed the golden age of the ACU, but in any case, he can still go and grab that last bit of veterancy if he wanted to, but it might be dangerous given the amount of health that he has. And the trebuchet spam has resumed now from Hickstrey as we approach 28 minutes here. No sign of this game losing its intensity. Hickstrey now going on a little bit of a hike here. And both players still on just one Tech 3 factory, so it's really all their economies going into one building. And Tech 2 Air, I spotted that from Destructor. And here comes his ACU, 4,000 health, back into the yellow. And will he get this last kill that he needs? Why did he not vet up there? What the fuck? Why did he not get a veterancy? What? I don't get it. Does he already have 5 stars? Okay, he does. Somebody must know something that I don't. Although you could say that about a lot of things. Destructor really being pushed back yet again here. He can't even get close to Hickstrey. And the T2 mexes at the front continue to be built. Look at the build power. Insane mass stall. And this is so painful for Destructor. He's really starting to run out of space here. I have no idea how he's going to hold this off. Down to 3,000 health again. He's back to square one, except now he has even less base than he did before. Tech 2 Air. Swift Winds being spammed up by Destructor, trying to gain hold of air. We see Tech 1 Air from Hickstrey. Still just Tech 1, we don't see any Tech 2. And T3 mexes from Hickstrey in the back, so he's not slowing down with his economic growth. It's going to be 3 T3 mexes for him, just 2 for Destructor, and we might have to remember that Hickstrey controls the entire map, so very, very significant economic advantage for Hickstrey. And Destructor is now starting to be pushed back into his own base. And he's got artillery on the ledge here. Good idea from him. Can now shoot back into the center of the map. I think a mobile shield would make this absolutely perfect, but you can't have everything. And here comes Destructor on a counterattack. It's really do or die for him here. He's got to attack. He's got to win something here. An overcharge took down 1 brick. Let us observe his ACU range. Does he actually have the range upgrade? That's the wrong one. Yes, he does have both upgrades. And looks like the bricks have fallen out of radar range. I see Corsairs from Hickstrey. So he wants to use his air control, but he doesn't really have air control anymore. Looks like good swift wind spam from Destructor to keep his air, or to keep air for himself. And looks like it's the Tech 3 artillery from Hickstrey that's being targeted here. It's not able to do anything because it has to set up before it fires, so Destructor can put constant pressure on it. Here comes Destructor again. Another overcharge takes down a brick. And this is bad. Oh, it managed to split up just in time. Another overcharge goes down. Can he get a 4th one in a row? He does. And that 5th overcharge, 5 bricks killed. Successful defense from Destructor, it must be said. He's got engineers now to reclaim all this crap. Tech 2 max right there. Oh my god. My stupid yeah, so Hickstry expressing his displeasure. His artillery is not firing. Losing quite a few mantis there to a single shot. So you can tell he's not a happy camper right now because he's just gifted Destructor so much mass that you could actually call this an even game once again. I see, whoa, what is going on here? So many TMLs up for Hickstry. He might be thinking about some kind of ACU snipe, but not possible the way Destructor has been marching around the map. Just 11 kills for Hickstry in contrast with 125 kills from Destructor. And he's starting to take the middle here. That counter push was enough that he's able to use his Harbingers to take the middle. And Corsairs coming in. Corsairs, they were not targeting the ACU. If they had targeted the ACU, maybe something could have happened there, but the Swift Winds are quick to react. And those Corsairs will be no more, just more mass deposited for Destructor's pleasure. And those Harbingers, oh, they could have kept pushing. Those Harbingers should have kept going in that direction. They could have taken out a Tech 3 max. Well, a T2 on the way to Tech 3 and another T2 max. Well, that's a huge opportunity missed for Destructor. But it's also good that he's able to just sit back and reclaim. He's been able to completely take out the middle. So just working on his base for the moment. Slowly, very slowly upgrading this T3 max. Really, the Hickstry has run out of stuff here in the middle. Complete air control from Destructor, so also complete intel. That's one of the perks. Look at the mass flowing into his mass banks here. It's all that reclaim that was deposited, and he's going for a second Tech 3 factory and a second Tech 2 air factory, so that's going to be how he chooses to utilize his mass. Also going for Tech 3 max. He can do all of that because he's got so much reclaim in the tank. And big Corsair attack coming in. They just kind of stopped there. They didn't do anything. That's actually a huge waste of mass from Hickstry. Just let his Corsairs sit there in the middle of the map. This game has calmed down a little bit, but still nowhere near over because it's so even. And so much energy for Hickstry. He has a Tech 3 Pigeon online, so he's ahead in every possible way at this point. Destructor just holding on. He won't give up, it seems. And here comes that push I was talking about. Mexes are vulnerable, and right as that Mex got to T3, it got destroyed by Destructor. Destructor just destroying, as is his MO. And he can actually push here only, well, now there's 5 bricks, plus a bunch of trebuchets, so, okay, he can't really push, he's got to retreat now. Hickstry is starting to run out of mass, or at least running out of an advantage, because he doesn't have as much mass as he did before, and a spider bot coming up for Hickstry. Does he have the mass to power that? He absolutely does not, but he's putting everything he has into it. May want to think about reclaiming some Tech 1 power. Would give him a tiny boost in order to get that up. Or to reclaim these mexes. Oh, please don't tell me he's going to do this. No, 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 don't. Never do this. Never just build a mex on an inferior mex's wreck. Or even a superior mech. Yeah, especially in a superior mex's wreck. Don't ever do this. Shit. You never ever want to do this, because this way you can only get a maximum of 50% mass back, whereas if you reclaim it and then rebuild on top of it, you get 80% of the mass back. Oh god, he's gonna do it with the Tech 3 max as well. Don't. If he were to reclaim that, he could actually get his spider butt online. There's so many benefits to just reclaiming it. Fuck me, man. I can't stand that. Bricks now laying waste to the Harbingers from distance. So you'd have to think, with all these bricks and with a spider butt on the way, Destructor should be in trouble. But he's actually got the shield on his ACU. I missed this. He's probably looking at something random. But is he going to scout now? He's going to scout. He's going to see an almost finished spider bot there. If he was paying attention, that is, because it went away. We're going to see mass fabricators from Hextria as well, so not stopping. He's going to squeeze out as much mass from his economy as he can. And Destructor is going to take advantage of this little window that he has because he knows that Hextria must be stalling like a madman. He's going to take advantage and push in. Why are we still seeing all these swift winds from Destructor? He's got absolute air control. There's no question about it, so why are we still seeing these swift winds? Gunships, Mercies, Tech 3, fucking air, anything would be better than these swift winds, but I'm not in the game, so I can't really say much about that. Oh! 5 bricks in one fucking shot, man. 5 fucking bricks. Well, we do have Spider back coming in. Destructor not enthused about it. This is where a Mercy spam could be very nice, actually. But with the shield, there's no support for this spider bot. Destructor can kill this thing. All he has to do is turn around and attack it with the Harpies and overcharge it. And he is within range now. 1 overcharge is in. He's not being targeted. 2nd overcharge in. The spider bot is actually a goner here. The Harbingers joined the fun. 5,000 health left on that, and that's 1 spider bot dead. Mass Fabricator is online for Hextria, getting a little bit more mass, and his ACU is rather invincible at this point. 154 kills, double shield, overcharging like a maniac. I mean, he just killed 5 bricks in 1 shot. If those 5 bricks had accompanied the spider, Destructor would be dead. No doubt in my mind, but that 1 overcharge seems to have preemptively saved his ass. Tech 1 land from Destructor. He's actually kind of losing health on his shield. Overcharging again. This is just becoming monotonous. He's overcharging everything that comes his way. And he's doing it again up here. Hextria is with the Tech 3 max this time. And he's going for a 2nd spider bot. Hopefully that one will have more success than the first one did. He's actually got enough mass to power this thing. That didn't make any sense, but you understand what I'm trying to say there. T2 artillery being constructed on the ridge. I was complaining that no one ever builds that, but we are seeing it before our very eyes here. This will give him quite a big commanding area over this central part of the map. These artilleries will be very nice, in fact. Might actually kick this down to +0 so we can take this all in. The only issue I have with this is that there's no shield. It's easily snipeable. And somehow he's thrown away a lot of his air force, patrolling over flag for so long. I think Hextria is still stalling on something. Now it's mass. Still got a mass advantage. And the spider bot, well, the first spider bot is still in the middle. Just waiting there. Unclaimed mass. No one is really able to secure the middle for long enough to take it. We're just going to have to wait and see, ladies and gentlemen, if the 2nd spider can do anything more than the first one did. And this little artillery base, I quite like it. Gives significant support to Destructor from afar. So it really does solidify what he's doing in the middle. See, it's just sniping units down. The Aeon Ardy especially has very good accuracy. So, as long as he gets a shield here, this will be a very, very solid fire base. It's not even a fire base, it's more like a support area, or whatever the hell you want to call it. You can see he's even microing it to give it specific targets. So a really good play there from Destructor. And these are some really nicely placed artilleries as well, firing into the Hextria's base, trying to take out the Tech 3 factory. It almost worked too. Here comes the 2nd spider bot, so those artilleries are gone. Hextria going down in health, being attacked here. And spider bot saving him though. Close call for Hextria. That would have been embarrassing after all this. And a missile came in almost. Oh no, that wasn't a missile, that was artillery. Dangerous crap here. More artillery coming up. I'm sure this spider bot will be high on the target list of the artilleries. And a third spider bot coming up for Hickstry. He really likes these. And I think Destructor is in a better position to take this mass now than Hickstry is. Actually, no, Destructor losing, well, not losing, but he's very much down on his shield. So any fight with the Monkey Lord would end in defeat now for him. He's got to be super careful about that. These are almost completely loaded missile launchers. This one is, these two close to being so. Hickstry has quite a lot of firepower at his disposal. See these artilleries shooting in here, causing lots of damage to the spider butt and to the bricks. And it's an invasion of engineers here. Hickstry took all his idle engineers and he told them to go reclaim. And Destructor will have to be pushed off here. Surely he won't be able to kill this one. Hickstry retreating now. Oh, you don't want to be retreating, man. He needed to attack there. Now the spider bot is almost dead. 2 overcharges on it. Nothing taken back by Destructor. What a game. What a fucking game. We're 45 minutes into this. This is fantastic. T3 mechs everywhere. Actually, looks like Destructor has completely developed his base in terms of Tech 3 mechs. Hickstry, I expect, has done something similar. He actually hasn't. He does not have all T3 mechs the way Destructor has, so for the first time, our Aeon friend takes the lead in economy. And looks like there was a temporary pause there. Both players, this is what's amazing, it's that both players are still going strong after 45 minutes. This artillery still securing the middle for Destructor, although he's running out of power so he can't actually spot anything. Looks like T2 PGen is on his list. And once this other Monkey Lord comes online, there could be a combined push with them, which would not be easy for Destructor to deal with, because if they were to be split up, he would have a very difficult time defending against both simultaneously. Is that T1 power I see being queued up? So he's really desperate for power here as Destructor. Not ideal at all if he's going to have 2 experimentals to deal with. He needs his power back online. Of course, we must keep in mind that this one is not in the best of conditions. I think actually with this much power, Hickstry could go for resource allocation. Because once you get resource allocation, you can really get rid of all your Tech 1 and Tech 2 power. So that would just give him a lot of mass. But up to him when he wants to do that. The T2 artillery doing quite well. Actually not taking out the T2 mechs, but still putting pressure on it. And both Monkey Lords now online for Hickstry. And we'll see just what happens here. Yep, just kind of sitting there for the moment. Destructor getting into some banter, and we see the artillery coming in, taking out a T3 max for Hickstry. That will go down. Damage over time killed it off slowly and painfully. So both players have really well fortified positions. And what is this I'm seeing? I am seeing Tech 3 Air coming online for Hickstry. He's got a very well balanced mass bar there. So we'll see. He might need to turn off his mass fabricators if he wants to be able to spam up T3 Air. He's certainly got enough power, 8k, but he is spending quite a lot on these mass fabs. He should probably turn those off if he wants to make Tech 3 Air. It's so bizarre that we're seeing these mass fabs in a Fields of Thunder game, but that's what you get when these players will play each other for so long. Okay, both spider bots are at the forefront, and now it's Strat Bomber time. Yay, he doesn't actually have air control though, so not sure how great those strap bombers will be, particularly given the fact that Destructor does actually have the shield upgrade. So you might be thinking if he attacks with his strap bombers in tandem with his monkey lords, he might be able to just finish Destructor off. Destructor will now be fully aware of the presence of 2 monkey lords. Hixtry is aware that he's aware. And the push began, but was cut off. Looks like the bureaucracy is having second thoughts about sending these soldiers in. No fucking idea. And the longer he waits, the longer he gives Destructor to come up with some kind of counter. Are these T1 PDs? Yep. He's gonna make a line of these. As good a defense as any, I guess. And once this T3 Pigeon comes online, I think Destructor has a full mass bar, almost full. So an experimental of his own is of course an option, or something along those lines. Because as good as he is with his ACU, taking on 2 spider bots is not easy, and a megalith coming up for Hixtry. So trying to build a megalith and Tech 3 air at the same time, this is not gonna work. 18%, never in a million years is that gonna work. Never, ever, ever. He needs to stop something and focus on a single project. He cannot try to make Tech 3 land, Tech 3 air, and a megalith at the same time. It's just not gonna fly. Big TML spam coming up for Destructor. Let's see what he's planning on doing with that. His spider bots prowling around, and one thing a lot of people don't realize is that the spider bots do have a very nice ranged attack. These little electron things are very nice. What the fuck is it? 12%? What is he trying to accomplish here? He won't be able to build anything, let alone all this stuff. Not a single one of these projects is gonna finish. And yeah, he's trying to recycle his power, but that's just not nearly enough mass to solve that huge crisis that he has going on. And Destructor on the chase here. The great spider chase is on. Coming in like a plague with his harbingers and the spiders. This is actually kind of formidable. They have to get away. One is going to get caught here for sure. Overcharge in. Another overcharge and it's dead. The harbingers might just finish it off. Oh, veterancy for the spider here. Both spiders not going to work with their lasers. This one's just kind of sitting on it. This one getting away. This other spider really kind of getting cornered. Why is it? What's happening? It's actually stuck. This spider is actually stuck on the terrain. Destructor can just sit here. Just sit here at maximum range, which is higher than the laser range. Hixtry is not happy about that. Destructor is giving him time to get the spider bot away. But it's well and truly stuck here. This is a bug. It cannot get away. Hixtry is trying as hard as he can to get his monkey lord away, but Destructor sportingly giving him 30 seconds. Omni actually up for Destructor. His Omni sensor will tell him everything. And this monkey lord is useless. He can just pick it off whenever he wants. Yeah, actually he's just gonna target it from range. And so many missiles from Destructor. Hixtry, is he actually proving me wrong? Is he building something at 1% efficiency or whatever the hell he was at earlier? He's building slower than the continents move, but he is building. That's the critical point here. Destructor, what is he building in response besides these missile launchers? With that many missiles, he can actually start sniping lots of things. He can overwhelm the defenses. Lots of good targets here. The T3 Power, the T3 Mexes with their mass farms, good targets, and the Megalith getting close to completion here. And Destructor had enough. He figures this is going to die anyway, so I might as well just finish it off. That's actually really shit, but what can you do? I mean, it's not anybody's fault that it bugged out there. There's nothing Destructor can do. You can only kill what's in front of you. This is just free mass now for him. And GC coming up for Destructor. He's finally entering the experimental game himself at the 53rd minute on Fields of Thunder. And still no sign of this game ending. That's the absurd part. Oh. Missiles away. What are we going to see here? It's a big volley of missiles from Destructor. Going after, what is he going after? Going after the back mexes here. Actually, oh! Devastating from Destructor. Did you see that? The chain reaction took out everything. Actually, Hickster, does he have the mass to defend himself? He doesn't. He can't actually get the TMDs up in time. Everything is at risk of being killed off here. This one is going to go down as well. Hickster has no base left. He doesn't have any mass income. And Destructor is getting this GC up very quickly indeed. Return fire from Hickster. Missile wars here, but the Aeon TMD comes to the rescue, snatching up huge amounts of missiles in one defense volley there. I mean, he is down to just 40 mass income. The TMD is completely unable to stop this many missiles at the same time. And there's just this one mech left. Hickster is in huge trouble. He's completely lost his base here. He's down to 15 mass, losing all his power as well. So he either wins now with this megalith, or he doesn't win at all. It's all or nothing now. 54 minutes in. This is a remarkable turnaround from Destructor. If you remember how pinned back he was at the start. The only thing that can kill him now is the megalith. He's got to get back to his base and defend himself. The GC is nearly done. He can use that to try and kill this off, but I don't know. There may just be enough firepower for Hickster to finish this off. There's absolutely no way that he will ever be able to build anything again in this game. It's all or nothing, and the megalith has an absurd range here and great damage. This is not going to get stopped by the terrain because it has such a larger leg span than the Spider Bot. The advantage is all with Destructor here. Hickster, all he has to do is make sure not to do anything dumb with his megalith, but the GC is about to complete. This is going to be a race. Can the Harbingers finish this off, or can they at least get it down to a reasonably low amount of health? That's all Destructor needs at this point. The GC, it needs to move. The GC needs to move. Come on, man. Get your GC in there. Whatever. Not reacting quickly enough. I don't think Hickster actually has the capability to make anything. What he has on the field is what he's going to end the game with. And sad to say, I think all of Destructor's good work is going to go to waste here because he's been cornered. And this is, here comes the GC. Can it make a difference? Can it get these experimentals to the point where they can be overcharged? No way, because Destructor is being targeted. Hickster needs to make up his mind here, either go for the GC or the ACU. The Spider Bot will cut off the escape here. Destructor going down in health. And the GC is just out of range. It can't actually target. Okay, now we're finally seeing that happen. He doesn't want to use the attack command though because it's going to stop moving, and the laser comes in. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, you can understand it though. You can understand this, you turtle bitch. Oh my god, this is almost dead. 4,000 health. I do not believe it, ladies and gentlemen. I just do not believe it. Look at this, 9 mass. His efficiency, it's not letting me toggle, but I'm sure it's 1% or so. Oh, 3%, alright. So he can't even build anything. What he has is what he ends the game with, and with the GC almost, I mean almost killing off this Megalith. We're talking 10 seconds more and Destructor would have won. And it comes down to that fine margin after an hour-long game on Fields of Thunder. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. That was a great game. Really, really fun. And for those of you who complained about the last videos being rather boring, you can't have the same complaint about this one. So, I will see you guys later. If you have any replays that you want me to cast, just let me know about them. And like and subscribe if you like this video and you like Supreme Commander and you just like to watch these games. And yeah, bye.